Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our trading room. Hold on here a second. Get the screen share going on. I moved the office over the weekend, and so now well, it might sound a little bit hollow in here. I'm still trying to find where I put everything. Okay, let's take a look here at last week, and you can see a more significant retrace. We've kind of been anticipating a retrace for a while, and it's holding pretty close to a trend line. We were watching, you'll remember me pointing out that sometimes we had some of these tiny little trading days, especially these doji type days, with rather significant volume attached to it. And then that's usually a sign that something is going to happen. Very often it's a cue to a reversal, and we were not really disappointed. The market pulling back a little bit, kind of bouncing off the 9,000 zone, rallying a little bit again, and then making a very sharp decline on Friday. And that puts us in definitely a more bearish type posture. Now you'll notice that we're getting big volume on these declining bars. That's not necessarily to say that there's going to be a more aggressive selling. Remember, volume is a relative indicator, and that means that we want to see big bars have big volume, and that is certainly the case. It's when we have small bars getting a relatively large volume, when we roll this over and we see tiny bars with above average volume, that's what makes us a little suspicious. All right, so a note to self, Friday's low near the trend line, so 9,000 seems to be a bit of a, or that whole 9,000 zone seems to be a bit of a significant number. And if we break down below that, well, then I can pretty much guarantee the market will fall off a little bit more. At least it looks like next stop probably around 8,700. All right. Let's get to the action. Well, at least one thing, when the market is moving like that, at least it's moving. At least there's something to trade. Going into those periods, it can be very, very dull. That's another tip off. All right, well, here we'll just let them settle in for a little bit. We're going to have a few signals go by, but it looks like to me we're fairly, well, congested to a degree. Overnight highs coming in here around the 90, 72, 73 mark. Overnight lows looks like maybe around 90, 32. So we've got a fairly broad range. Okay, looks like the first in sync eagle signal working out pretty well for us. Nice little continued rally right out of the open. Ooh, some very strong follow through on that. Look at that go. All right, well, that definitely puts a much more bullish spin on the day. Okay, so they're hitting a little congestion here. And when you get these kinds of rally periods and the market starts to move sideways, you can consider putting your just in case order in. Your just in case the market continues a trend before giving you another signal order. And because we're trending relatively strong, or so it seems, I think I may go for the full 10 points here, which is our eagle target. Christian has an interesting question here. He writes, Eric, last week I sometimes noticed that the Raptor is very fast, sometimes too fast to get a trade in during the 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. Is it a good idea to switch during this market time, this open market time, to the Eagle with 12 ticks, mean Renko, or better to wait until with the Raptor until the volatility comes down? Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with going with a larger bar. And I forget who it was, but someone in the room even ran a larger bar on the Raptor. So they had the default settings on one Raptor chart and then built another Raptor chart with a larger brick size, just to kind of give you an overroom. But you know, that is a nice thing about the Eagle, is it does tend to smooth things out a little bit. All right, let's put this on the shelf. Right now, though, the market definitely bullish. We made a huge move out of the open, like 50 ticks. Okay, well, they're pulling back, which is fine because pullbacks are a great way to re-enter the market. Depending how aggressive you want to be, we could have a 232 signal developing here. Now, the 232 signal is when you get the counter trend signal, you get the with trend signal, and then it comes back with another counter trend signal. Sometimes that's a prelude to a reversal. Stop placement is going to be the only tricky part on this particular trade. As it is definitely feasible to see a false breakout occur. All right, well, yeah, okay, that's not the way I like to do this, but here we go. We're in all the same. Better get my stop loss order in play. And we'll turn on the chart trader. Well, okay. I have to admit that had a little bit more giddy up than I was anticipating. I thought we would get about halfways and then the market would start to look behind itself again. But this is why I like to have that just in case order. And it's important to remember whenever a market has a trend, an obvious trend, when it hits that little bit of a sideways period, that's your cue to set up for the next with trend breakout, because most times it will do exactly that. And this time it did not disappoint. We did get some signals as well. We got a nice little number 3 signal here, which admittedly I took late. Not quite sure why that one's flashing as a number 3 signal. Is it really from the touch way back here? I guess it is. Wow. And well, the Falcon actually a little bit shut out until up here, and it looks like you would have made your profit target even on the late signal, although I have to say, taking a trade at this point always gives me a little bit of an uneasy feeling because, of course, now stop placement is very, very difficult. The proper stop is way down here, not right here. But at any rate, it looks like it would have worked out for you all the same. The eagle just gave a discretionary signal, but it gave us a good picture of that rally and then sideways congestion. And, well, the Raptor, of course, no shortage of signals with the Raptor. Okay, the trading band getting a little bit broad, so we might see a little bit of a hesitation again. I don't think I'm going to go so far as to call for a pullback. Looks like the buyers showed up in force today. All right, here we go again with a little bit of back and forth. I'm not so sure I can do that twice. I think I'd like to see a more established channel before I try to do my just in case trade again. See a little bit more of an established channel, maybe even see a breakout and a retest. Those kinds of things, I think, would be prudent. And yes, that's my printer in the background. Don't ask, I don't know. It's just a printer doing stuff. Okay, we're getting a few signals, but we're not quite as in sync as we were, are we? No, we are not. Okay, again, a slight little hesitation after a very aggressive rally. You know, when the market is like this, when the market has an obvious trend to it, the direction is not your problem. Your problem is, where do I get in? Because shoot, has the market moved? Well, it has. It's moved 100 points this morning. Well, more than 100 points. There goes my printer again. um, so, like I said, direction is not a problem. Timing is your issue, because stop placement for a small trader, stop placement is everything. Because, well, we can't afford to leave them too far back, and that is problematic. All right, well, let's see what happens here. We have this little bit of a sideways congestion period going on, and here now is the breakout. Let's see if this breakout is going to hold, or whether it's going to be a fake breakout. If we get a couple of bars against us, or lower, not necessarily against us, but if we get a couple of bars moving lower, then we can wait for the breakout, retest, and possible trend resumption at that point. Okay, now we notice we've only got one bar counter. I'd like to see two bear bars. It just makes the top that much stronger. You know, if I'm going to throw an order up there, I would like to have a very firm top. And this market's got a long ways to retrace. Like, I mean, at the very least, we could see a retrace, well, to where the last breakout occurred. So back here to 90.95, that's very plausible. And after that, well, where do you stop? Go down here to 90.65, maybe even back to the low of the morning. We did gap up a little bit this morning, so there is a gap below the open. Not a huge gap, but a gap all the same. Oh, still, see, still can't get two bars against. Well, that breakout, while not as aggressive as the other one, would have made its profit target. So I guess now I'm kind of on the holding pattern until we get a bigger retest. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm not as aggressive as a lot of traders. I know a lot of guys that would be, just diving into the market on any pullback, any buy signal. But hey, it's your money. You do what you think is right. And on a day like today, you would have done just fine. A little reminder as well that, it's important not to lose sight of the fact you don't need a lot of trades to make a lot of money trading. In fact, one or two trades a day, providing they're profitable, are all the trades that you need. Because after that, you just start adding size. So whereas like our trade this morning was good for $200, that one trade. Ooh, wow. Okay. I guess I didn't need to be quite so apprehensive. Look at that follow through. And it looks to me like there must have been a report come out here at the top of the hour. But as I like to remind you, $200 on a single contract. Well, that's 400 if you're trading 2, 600 if you're trading 3, 1,000 if you're trading 5. It adds up very quickly. Aha, yes, manufacturing numbers are out. Thanks, Tom. Here, I'm checking the Forex Factory for the reports calendar. And here's why I don't follow reports. Now, this was pre-report, but U.S. manufacturing growth slows at start of 2020 as exports fall. Okay. Somebody forgot to tell the market. Somebody forgot to tell the market that the economy is slowing down. Yes, those talking heads. Well, I guess they need something to talk about. A 24-hour news cycle is a bane to the trading world. In fact, you probably do better doing the opposite of whatever you hear coming out. if you're looking for a little light reading, and it's not really all that light, but The Wall Street Gang, written by a fellow by the name of Richard Ney, will tell you how the markets use the news, or market makers will use the news to manipulate the markets. And in case you think that's a bunch of malarkey, Richard Ney called not one, not two, but 3 market tops. That's not so easy to do. Okay, well, we've had a plethora of signals here this morning. And like I said, I'm not perhaps as aggressive as I could be or should be. Had a nice little trend change signal back here in the Falcon. At this point, again, the trend is up. At this point, you're looking for any excuse to buy. So here's your first in sync trend signal. Go ahead, buy that. It looks like you would have done okay even buying the signals that were not in sync. Likewise on the Raptor, we've got a number 1 signal popping up here, and it looks like it got up to find its profit objective. Not a whole lot more, but enough. Everybody who is on the sidelines at the moment, though, is looking for a reason to get in. Just give me a reason, they're saying. Okay, and this is starting to look like a little bit of profit taking. Going back to Christian's earlier question, sometimes when the market is moving really fast, I do stand aside until things calm down a bit. There's always another trade, folks. I know you hear it time and again. I know it's hard to believe. I've been there. It's that fear of missing out, that FOMO. That will cost you a lot of money. I know it did me. You want to pick your moments. And right now, things are looking very, very sideways, aren't they? Hawk sideways. Falcon, not as much as the others, but certainly the Hawk, the Eagle, the Raptor, fighting for direction here a bit. One thing about these sideways periods is something's coming. right? The market's kind of building up pressure, checking the top end, checking the bottom end. Bollingers are getting a little bit bullish here, the Bollinger Suite. Oops, that's not what I wanted. You got to be careful when you're playing with these things. Yeah, way to go, Keith. He says, good morning, Eric. Well, good morning, Keith. He says, I missed 2 entries with the market moving really fast, sitting on my hands until the market calms down based on my previous experience and rules. That is very astute. I don't want to get too aggressive here on the short. I'm going to keep testing the top end here. Let's see if it holds for us, or whether it's going to sink back down here to the bottom end. If it holds, then there's a chance that we may see another little pop up. And that would be a number 3 signal that's printing. All right, I'm going to frame it. Oh, okay, well, there we go. One more bar. There we go. I'll get the trade to break even at this point. No! Get up there. Ah, yes, stinkers. I got in a little bit late. I intended to get in a little bit closer to that signal as it printed. And unfortunately, I was not able to ride out that little bit of a pullback. Tag me out. Are they going to try it again? Working their way back to the hard edge now. May get a late filter entry signal here in the Falcon. Buyers got to show up pretty quick though. Oh no, Falcon trend line has changed color, so that spoils the late filter signal. All right, well, they're not going up. We're going to get a trend change signal here in the Falcon. Maybe. We've got the warning dots, but so far no follow through. I'd consider the signal should print somewhere around that low right there. All right, so the signal actually printing a little bit earlier. I'll leave my entry where it is. We'll get this out of the way for now. It's not looking all that promising for the shorts just yet. All right, the trade's not working as planned. Trend line has changed back, so we're obviously still in a period of congestion. Coming back with another buy signal, so we're flip-flopping. Trend is up. Oh shoot, that's way too far away. Let's get that down there a bit. Okay. And so I'm in at 40 half. I would like out at 45 half. Come on, a little more. There we go. Okay, so we're 3/4 of the way to the profit target. I'll get my stops up to break even and hooray. Okay. Well, that was fun. Okay, so I've got my trading quota met. I'm profitable on the day. I've got 3 trades in. One break even, 2 profitable trades. We're up 300 and change per contract. That is a pretty darn good day. Like I said, from now it just becomes a matter of increasing your position size, where instead of trading 1 contract, you can afford to trade 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah, I've said this too. Christian says trading is like a video game for adults. Yes, a very expensive video game. Okay, now we're in a holding pattern again, just checking the highs and the lows, the recent highs and lows. Checking out that top end again. So I don't know, maybe 9150 has a bit of a psychological effect to it. That region, we're pushing back some, or not. That number 3 signal had some decent follow through to it. It's a little bit too late on that one though. We're pretty much retracing the same numbers though that we had all last week. Big ranges, but the market not really going anywhere. And this week so far seems to be the same. Here we go with a little bit of a pullback again. You know, when you see them struggling to go higher, right away you start thinking, are they going to go lower? And very often they will, at least short term. I always think it's some profit taking going on rather than traders loading up to the short side. I think it's buyers out there covering their positions. And sure enough, here we got ourselves a number 2 signal. All right, just to be clear, this is counter trend. This is risky. Oh, and it's going to run away. My trading day, you know, I don't like to trade more than 3 times in a day, but we'll see. What, you know, like I said, what doesn't go up may want to go down. It would have been much better to enter closer to the signal itself, but let's see if we can't get one little swing out of this. So I drew that trend line up here to have an idea how far the market may actually pull back against me. You can see once I draw that trend line, my stops are kind of cozy. Better stop actually back up there. counter trend trades. I hate them. Why do I do them? Because they look so tempting. Well, and the late entry didn't help matters. So we got ourselves a little bit here of a hard edge bounce. Now we've got the 2 signal, we've got the 3 signal. We'll see if we come back with another number 2 signal or another signal to sell. That would give my position a little bit more hope. All right, there now is the official number 3 signal. Now we've broken the trend line. Where are the sellers? Stinkers. Nope, they're not going to give it to me. Don't. Oh well. Counter trend trades. That's what I said. Can't trust them. All right, gang. We're going to close up the room here at the bottom of the hour. So if you have any questions, please type away. If you're going to keep trading today, I think, well, I know you have to stay bullish. That's a given. I would think somewhere through here, I don't know, maybe early afternoon. I don't know if we're going to see it toward the end of the morning session, but somewhere through here, there's going to be a little bit more aggressive move lower. Like I said, not a reverse, but more in the profit-taking category type pullback. In fact, I think we keep bouncing off this 91.50 zone. I think the next sell, I might have been a little bit too quick on that number 2 signal. The next short may have a little more to it. And of course, try not to get in too late. That's one thing when you're looking to sell. There you go. When you're looking to sell, you got to get in early. See? Doggone it. There they go again. Oh well. All right. No questions? Okay. I will see you again tomorrow. Talk to you then. Bye for now.